All right, well, here we are at this stage. Now, I jumped ahead a little, but I mentioned before when I do these videos, it's like working on something and then setting it off. You know, you get interested in working on it, and then to make a video, I mean, I don't want to sit down here all day making videos. I have to push that project to the side and work on something else before the next video, if that's understandable. But anyway, doing that makes you kind of lose interest in something. So when I come down here, the first thing I want to pick up is the project I'm working on. And Judy's not always around, so there's no one to make the video with me. So I pick up the piece and go to town on it because I get interested in it. It's fun to do, and that's what happens. But anyway, so where we are right now, from where we are before, I attached the one braid like we did, and I cut out the blank. I showed you the blank. Well, I cut it out. Let me take his head off here. Cut out that blank. Whittled it down considerably from what it was before. Hollowed it out to where it'll fit his head. Cut off a tag right there. And did some texturing on here to get ready to put the burn on it. And like I mentioned before, I wanted this recessed quite a bit here so that headband will come down over his forehead, which worked out really well, I think. And then after that, I went ahead and I made the first horn, which is right here. And it's pegged to the side of the head right there. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make the other horn. And I just happen to have the blank for it right here that matches that one there. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the position of it in the right position, which is right there. And it sets just behind the rosette, which is about right. And make sure it's equal. Right there, I guess. So, get my glove on here. My finger guard, which is clear across the room, excuse me. Looks like I'm about ready to make me a new finger guard. You can see by this one, I'll just show you how I make them. Anyway, I start out with the finger from an old carving glove. A friend out in California told me that. And that really works good because those things snug down on your hand because they're sort of elasticized. And I take that and I stick it on a stick, and I take some spray adhesive and I spray all around that. And then I start wrapping my rubberized protective tape around it. And this one here, let me just show you the anatomy of my finger guard. I don't use those leather guards. They're sloppy. They move all over the place. I definitely don't want to use those. So this part here, there you can see that adhesive is hanging on there. This here is a piece of an old finger guard. I just cut a strip off of it and I lay it over the wrap, the original wrap, just for extra protection. Like that. And then I'll get my tape and I'll wrap, I'll respray this with adhesive, and then I'll wrap that protective wrap all around it one more time, which I'm going to do right now, but you don't need to watch that. I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. All right, here's this spray adhesive I use. It's just 3M spray adhesive, 25% more. And there's my old thumb guard there. So I'm just going to lightly spray it like that. That'll dry. And then I'm going to use some green tape. And I went on Amazon quite a long time ago, lay this down somewhere where it don't stick, and bought me some adhesive tape. You think I've got enough to last for a while? Anyway, most of you probably won't want to buy this much, but you might go together with some friends and buy it. This is the best way to buy it, and you get what's the best kind of thumb guard. You can make the best kind of thumb guard you can find by using this stuff here. Don't use that vet tape. A knife blade will go right through that stuff. I've seen it. When I saw that people were using that, we had horses at the time, and I had some vet tape, so I made a thumb guard using that stuff, and that lasted about 5 seconds before I threw it away, because like I say, the knife blade just goes right through it. But it won't go through this stuff if you wrap a good amount around your thumb guard. Okay. So then I put it back on my thumb. Of course, you want to do that because you want this tape to form to the shape of your thumb as you're wrapping. This has a little bit of sticky stuff on it, but not as much as that other stuff. This tape will hold itself to the other part of this tape, but it won't stick to this stuff. Won't stick to this stuff if you don't spray that adhesive on it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap that on there, start that on there, and then just start wrapping. And I kind of wrap it beyond the end here. That way I can fold that over. And then come back. I know it looks like a big mess, but it works. It's better than getting your thumb shredded. And you saw the condition of this one here, what happens when I'm whittling, so I don't want that to happen to my thumb. Well, then you just cut that off right there. So you just went ahead and used that whole thing, I guess. And then you just squeeze it and it'll just come right down to your perfect thumb guard. And I do the same thing with my gloves. And then Judy does a little stitch work around the base of those guards, and my glove lasts forever until it gets so dirty and disgusting that I throw it away, not because it's falling apart, but because it's dirty and disgusting. So that's how I make my thumb guard. Now we'll go on with the carving. Okay, start roughing this thing out. I'm going to orient your grain up to the strongest point. My other horn here to make sure we keep the size the same. Boy, right in there that grain runs. These little objects are kind of hard to hold on to. And you got your hand all wrapped up in bandages, basically. Let's see how this matches up to the, oh, get pretty close there. Once I get the bottom size figured out here, go ahead and speed up a little on the upper part. That's about it right there. Well, everybody's asking me about this knife. Where'd you get it? Did you make that yourself? No, I didn't. I think I mentioned before, my good friend Don Mertz gave it to me. Just showed up down here one day, this knife did. And boy, it's become one of my favorite tools, because it's really sharp. He took it, and it used to be an old pocket knife, and he filled it all up with wood and then epoxied the blade in place, or that could have been the blade. And it looks like right there's a piece of the other blade that was here. But anyway, I really appreciated him giving me that. And please don't get a hold of Don Mertz and start asking him to make you a knife. Well, I'm going to keep whittling on this. There's no sense. You know what I'm doing. You don't need to waste video time with me showing you every stroke I make on this thing. So we'll come back once I get her all fixed up. Okay. Got my other horn done. It matches the other one nice. I took a chisel and I just kind of created a little platform there just to make sure that that's where the thing's going, because I want them to match up perfectly. They match up fine that way. And they match up fine that way. So, drill me a hole right here in the center. And with a progression of drills, Just to make the hole larger.
Good.
And I'm sure there's probably a better way of doing this. But let's just hold that in place to see. Yep. Okay. Only a small gouge here. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I don't need to go all the way down. I just need to get it to where it sets in there. Here's my hat. So get me a piece of dowel. What do you think, huh? Looks pretty snappy. Slap happy? Snappy? Only one step to, well, actually there's several steps to come, but the biggest one is going to be burning the fur texture to it, which will be all across here and his headdress also. But we've been goofing around with other things here. I think we're going to do that and start that in the next video. So, again, hit that little subscribe button down there in the lower right corner, if you would. That way you know when you get a new video. And this thing's kind of creaky right now, but once we get it all done, it'll look pretty snazzy. What's going to happen after the burning is we're going to be putting in the little hanging things here, ermine tails in this case. I don't think we might not do that, but we're going to be doing some stuff down here. Okay, and I doubt if we put any feathers off the end of the horns, that would be kind of hard to do with a carving like this without it being just too fragile. So they put feathers on this one here. Now that's a possibility. This one here, they put feathers back behind it and some ermine tails. So you never know, we might try carving a couple of ermine tails to hang down there, just to see what we can do. That's the fun of doing these pieces, is trying to replicate what they actually did when they made headdresses like this. That's fun. I love doing little details just to see how good you can make them look. Anyway, so that's going to be it for this video, and I'll talk to you later.